Brothers is celebrating 50 years membership with the Knights. Father Kevin, would you like to come forward?
Thank you, Brother Glenn. Again, I'm the branch chairman of the Bendigo branch, and I have had the honour of the company of Brother John Spark over a number of my years, which are limited compared to his 50 years in the Knights. We also have with us Brother Ian Richard Skurrah from Rochester area, who is also celebrating 50 years membership of the Knights. And we have these certificates of appreciation for their connection with the Knights, and we are fortunate to have them both present here today. So I would, Brother John, would you like that to come forward? And Brother Ian.
Whoops, just sit there. I want to get hold of your chair. Stand there. Good on you. Thanks, Tom. Good to see you. Yeah. So I've been in accordance to your time. Yeah, good of you. Good to see you. Tell you this. Did you get the book that Sweeney wrote? Oh, you want to buy it? I saw the grass one. Yeah, it's worthwhile.
Brother John, congratulations. 50 years or so.
It is. Thank you very much. Can I just say a few words? First of all, it's great to see you. Ian and I are old school chums together from St. Bendigo. I didn't know you were coming in, Ian. But can I just say a few words? This is a real pleasure for me today, for my wife and I, 50 years ago. You know, I can remember it well. A good friend of ours, Bevan Jinks, who married my cousin Moira, he took us in, and that night there was Peter Stewart, who's since deceased, Tony Brown, Mickey Wade and myself. Walked in the room, I looked around, I thought, God, I know nearly everybody in here. This is branch number 5. And there were 40 members at that stage. And sadly to say, out of those 40 members, there's only one who was at that who's here. He's not here tonight, unfortunately. And that's Brian Burke. So out of that 40 members, there's only one who's still about, who was in that group. But it was a great time. Julie and I have had a great time. Just a couple of things to note. While I was branch number 5 there, we had a couple of really red-hot members. You all remember John Fitzpatrick. And John Fitzpatrick was a great one for the priests. And we used to have fundraising nights. And some of you remember, anybody here who still remembers the gambling nights out at Fitzy's place? Yeah, Tommy does. And we'd raise hundreds and hundreds of dollars, which that was a lot of time. And we raised enough money to give Father Dennis a good deposit on a car, and Father Peter Taylor, and we had some great times. I'll never forget those. Another great one was formed was a communion breakfast and prayers at St Killian's every Saturday morning. We'd meet there, a number of us, we'd go to Mass, attend communion, we'd say the Rosary, and then we'd journey upstairs for breakfast. And it's a pity Peter Tunsy's not here tonight. Peter used to always bring his long guitar, and we'd sing hymns, say a few songs, and say the Rosary. And that went on for years and years. And it went well. And we also had Pat Goggin, and he was down your way from Colac, I believe. Did you know Pat when he was down that way? From here. Yeah, you remember Pat? And he was always waiting money, and he come along, he said, listen fellas, we can make a few bob from Eagle Hawk North. Oh, we'd listen. So we formed a financial group, and this group, we bought land out at Eagle Hawk North, which is near the Eagle Hawk North Primary School, and we developed it. Well, we did make a few bob out of it. I'm ever grateful for Pat getting us interested in investments in property. Then in 1984, Julie and I decided we'd move to Juniton, which meant well, I was leaving number 5, and I said to the meeting one night, look fellas, I'm out at Mass now at St Teresa's. All the boys out there, they're in branch number 112, so I'll transfer, and I did. And I met a new lot of men out at 105, which I knew most of them out there. And they were a great lot of folks. We had some great times. And a few interesting things there happened that I love doing. We had a bishop appointed here, Noel Dale. Bishop Noel loved an open fire. And one weekend, Bill and a couple of others from Sale, where he came up with a load of wood. We said, good. We were asked to help him unload it, which we did. We said, what's going on, Bill? He said, oh, look, he said, Noel loves wood. We've got to keep him supplied with wood. And we thought, well, this is not right. Sale looking after our bishop, this is just not good enough. So thankfully, a couple of weeks later, I was at our Skurrah meeting. I don't see any Skurrahs here, but it doesn't matter. Frankie Harrop was, and Frank and I, you remember Frank, we're all school chums from Spenny's together. He said, you need some wood? He says, no worries. He said, come out and have a look at my farm out at Muskie East. Well, it was actually at Knowsley, and he had a big stand of dead timber. And he said, that's yours for Bishop Noel. So Len Fitzpatrick and a few others organised working bees, and we kept Bishop Noel in wood all the years till the day he had to retire due to ill health. Another great thing that was started were those progressive dinners. Do any of you branches have the progressive dinners still going?
No.
No one. They've unfortunately died out. Gee, they were great nights. You'd have soup at someone's place, you'd go to another place for the main course, and you'd go to another place for the sweet. Well, Julie, she said she'd do the second course this year. Letty Fitz at that time had what we called a bongo van. It was a small, little Toyota sort of a van, and he'd carry a lot of junk in the back of it. Well, he pulled up at our place and he said, and in those days we didn't buy bottles of beer, we used to have a keg we'd carry around in the back of this thing. So Fitzy, quick as a flash, whipped off the flywire screw, Julie remembers it well, off our back lounge room, and poked the Pluto through, and here they served beer for the rest of the night. But they were wonderful nights, those really good. And I'll never forget those. Now in 1979, as Ian would remember, it was the finish of St Vincent's College where Ian and I attended school. Monsignor Campo, who became Bishop of Port Pirie, attended our meeting one day. I said, look boys, he said, I've got a proposition to put to you. The Vincentian priests can no longer staff St Vincent's College. He said, and they've offered us to it a steal for $600,000. And he said, I reckon you fellas can buy it for us. Oh yeah, we said, what's the price? He said, off bingo money. Well, back there, that's a long time ago, 1979, bingo was just coming on in the state of Victoria. As it turned out, he was right. He hired a bus, took us all to Melbourne for a night, and we toured all these places in North Melbourne, Essendon, and a few others, and we came back and we started bingo. Well, the first night there were about 2 men and a dog there, and it progressed, and we made thousands of dollars. So I really think the Knights are to be commended of having played a great part in buying St Vincent's College for the Diocese of Bendigo, and it was terrific. There's many other things I'd like to say, but I'm going to finish here to hand over to my old mate from St Vinny's, and he'll say a few words. But look, thanks for your company. It's been a joy to know all of you. Julie and I had a great night with the boys from Coal Lake last night, and I must personally thank Julie because she had to contend with a lot over, pardon me, over the years. Entertainment. I was involved with Bishop Noel for a while as a sort of his drive around the state, which means I was staying in parishes quite often, and she did that. But God bless you all, and thanks very much. Yeah, Ian, over Ian.
Ian Skurrah, again, congratulations on your 50 years of service within the Rochester area. If you'd like to have a brief word.
Well, yes, I joined in Rochester. I later I transferred to Echuca, and after that I was a member in Ballarat. After that I took a job up in Dinnerlipon and gradually got worked my way back to the Rochester Parish in Lockington. So I'm proud that we're pretty well we're defunct now as a branch. I think the only 2 members of Rochester are here today. So I'm getting more to add, thank you.
Congratulations to Brother Ian.
Thanks, Ian. Good man. Yeah. 2 old books and bitty boys together. What's a photo? Oh, well, we better have this polling up. I'll show Frankie when we see him next week. Good, thanks for that.
Thank Brothers Ian and John for the memories, the methods, the ideas, and hopefully we can follow their footsteps and reintroduce.